The top news posts of November 16.
Sunday, November 16, at 2:21 a.m. Refugees to face 20-year wait to settle permanently under asylum reforms. BBC. Britain is rolling out its most significant asylum policy overhaul in modern times. New reforms will see refugees face a 20-year wait for permanent settlement, the longest route in Europe. The changes also curtail asylum seekers' automatic right to accommodation. This sweeping policy comes as leaders declare illegal migration is tearing our country apart, and the current system is broken.
Sunday, November 16, at 1:31 a.m. China warns students in Japan of safety risks as tensions rise. Bloomberg.com. Amid rising tensions between China and Japan, Beijing has issued safety warnings for Chinese students in Japan and advised citizens against travel, a move Tokyo protests. This follows a Japanese leader's Taiwan comments, prompting China to deploy its Coast Guard to the Senkaku Islands. Airlines are now offering Japan trip refunds as the diplomatic row deepens, while a poll shows the Japanese public divided on a military response to China over Taiwan. Saturday, November 15, at 11:26 p.m. Gen Z protests against Mexico president turned violent amid anger over mayor's death. The Guardian. Thousands have taken to the streets across Mexico in violent protests, fueled by Gen Z and widespread anger over a mayor's recent death. Demonstrators are accusing government leaders of corruption and protecting powerful cartels. Clashes with police have left 120 injured, with protesters even breaching barriers at Mexico's National Palace.
Saturday, November 15, at 9:28 p.m. Marjorie Taylor Greene says she is receiving threats amid rift with Trump. CBS News. We're tracking a growing rift within the MAGA movement. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene reports receiving threats as her feud with Donald Trump escalates. Trump himself has suggested primarying Greene, with Laura Loomer reportedly eyeing a move to Georgia. This comes ahead of a pivotal vote on the Epstein files and looking toward the 2026 midterm elections.
Saturday, November 15, at 8:18 p.m. US immigration raids begin in Charlotte, North Carolina. Reuters. Federal immigration enforcement has launched in Charlotte, North Carolina, sparking fear and causing some businesses to shutter. Reports indicate aggressive tactics, with one Charlotte man claiming Border Patrol shattered his truck window and stole his keys. The operations have prompted the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office to issue a statement addressing growing community concerns.
Saturday, November 15, at 8:12 p.m. Atmospheric river hits Southern California with risks of flash floods and deaths on stormy seas. App News. Southern California is being battered by a powerful atmospheric river, unleashing heavy rains and significant hazards. Flash flood warnings are in effect, with dangerous conditions persisting on stormy seas. Rainfall totals are climbing rapidly across the region, and some areas are already experiencing flooding. Our teams are tracking this relentless system live, providing real-time updates on conditions and rainfall totals, especially for Los Angeles County. Stay informed and stay safe.
Saturday, November 15, at 7 p.m. Pennsylvania send John Fetterman back home from hospital after fall. CNN. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is back home after being hospitalized for a fall near his home. The incident, following a cardiac episode, saw Fetterman share a candid photo of his bloodied face upon release. This latest event brings renewed focus to the senator's ongoing health.
Saturday, November 15, at 6:16 p.m. Ex-Fed Governor Kugler resigned after violating trading rules. Bloomberg.com. Breaking news. Former Federal Reserve Governor Adriana Kugler resigned following an ethics investigation. Reports indicate Kugler violated trading rules and engaged in forbidden activity while serving at the central bank.
Saturday, November 15, at 4:31 p.m. Trump buys at least $82 million in bonds since late August. Financial disclosures shows CNBC. Turning to financial news, former President Donald Trump has made significant bond investments. Recent disclosures show Trump has bought at least $82 million in corporate and municipal bonds since late August alone. This latest spree brings his total bond purchases since August to more than $337 million.
Saturday, November 15, at 3:56 p.m. Texas-California National Guard members to leave Portland and Chicago. ABC News.com. Hundreds of National Guard members are now set to leave Portland and Chicago. Texas National Guard troops are departing the Chicago area, while California Guard members withdraw from Portland. However, 100 Oregon National Guard troops will remain active in Portland. This development comes from U.S. officials and multiple sources.
Saturday, November 15, at 3:51 p.m. Trump says 2,000 tariff rebates will come sometime next year. Forbes. Former President Donald Trump is promising $2,000 tariff rebate checks, or a tariff dividend, for most Americans next year. He says the payments, which would exclude high-income earners, are expected sometime in 2025. The proposal for direct checks is already creating a stir, putting Republicans in a tricky position as details remain scarce.
Saturday, November 15, at 3 p.m. Food stamps are back, but millions will soon lose benefits permanently. Politico. Good evening. While SNAP benefits are funded again after a record deadlock, millions are still set to permanently lose their food assistance. This follows new, stricter eligibility requirements from a Trump-era law. Critics warn these cuts to the food safety net could threaten the broader public safety net. Local nonprofits, including one in Portland, are now stepping up to help residents adjust to these significant shifts.
Saturday, November 15, at 2:52 p.m. Protests return to climate summit with calls for indigenous rights and a dash of Trump mockery. Politico. Thousands are marching outside the COP30 climate summit in Belém, Brazil, demanding urgent action. Protesters, many from indigenous communities, are calling for their rights to be recognized and for leaders to accelerate progress. The first week of talks has been marked by widespread frustration over the slow pace of negotiations, with many attendees feeling exhausted by the lack of breakthroughs. Saturday, November 15, at 2:07 p.m. Trump has suggested H has made a decision on Venezuela military operations. Here's what we know. CNN. Tonight, tensions escalate around Venezuela. President Trump is reportedly nearing a decision on potential military operations, with U.S. forces preparing for a possible attack order. Officials are holding high-level meetings as one U.S. official indicated the table is being set for military action. The ultimate endgame, however, remains uncertain.
Saturday, November 15, at 8:23 a.m. Epstein files. Who else was mentioned? BBC. New details from the Epstein files continue to emerge, sparking questions about who else was mentioned and what emails reveal regarding the rich and famous seeking his advice. Republicans, accused of trying to squelch the furor, may have only fed it. Maryland Representative Jamie Raskin has weighed in, while some right-wing media outlets appear to be shrugging off the latest document release. The story continues to unfold.